Okay, so King Joe, slightly delayed. I do apologise. But here we go, 10 seconds for people to assemble. As I said, we're going to have the Russian Raptors on attack and SAS on defence. And in terms of defence here, we're going to have an interesting switch. We're going to have Kelly, who's been playing Fire Reaper, switching onto a Reinhardt here. Very interesting. Looks like a few people are switching some roles around here. They're going on the high ground. They're running Rhine, Zarya, Soldier, Genji, Moira, Lucio. And it looks like they're going to have Montana here on the Zarya, who's now gone. I don't know where Montana's gone, I assume. Yeah, okay, so Montana's come back to the high ground. It looked like maybe they was going to have the Zarya waiting. It looks like they're hiding away from the Russian Raptors and then they're going to jump down onto them when they come to point. Meanwhile, the Russian Raptors are running Rhine Diva, Symmetra Junkrat, which is interesting, and Anna Moira, probably planning to just teleport onto the point. They're going to be a bit confused here though, because they're going to expect to see an enemy team. And it's not going to be there. You can see that they're waiting to set up a teleporter to go onto the high ground. The Reinhardt and Diva will both fall off though, so that's difficult. Looks like both teams are going to the high ground. There's going to be a contest up here then, as the Genji is going to come flying out, picks off the Junkrat. And Russian Raptors have gone below what SAS are below, so they've dropped onto them. They're going to pick on the Symmetra. Very interesting play here from SAS. So just still on the high ground behind. Zarya getting really low though, getting that Moira hill. She will fall though to the Diva. I actually think Russian Raptors have actually got advantage here due to the closed respawns. They pick off the Genji as well, but they trade everyone else. It's just a Lucio and the Reinhardt left now with not much healing, as the Reinhardt will fall, and it's just Buddy left now to recontest as the Diva will tidy up. And that is a team wipe right there for Russian Raptors. I don't think SAS will recontest. Be interested to see if any switches are made from either team. Maybe they stick on the Symmetra, maybe they don't. Looks like for now they're going to be sticking on the Symmetra unless this is a late switch. The Junkrat are going to pick onto the Moira. Wherever the hell the Moira was hiding. I think the Moira was hiding behind for SAS there. Zarya is in the building all by themselves, got a Diva on her. The Reinhardt comes charging in. The Zarya will fall again. They commit the nano to the Reinhardt. They didn't know that was coordinated, as the Reinhardt wasn't going forward. The Dragon Blade's used. Picks off two for SAS. He picks off the people that was on the point, the Genji. He cleared the point off just to contest and pushing it a bit further. Only the Anna and the Reinhardt left with the Diva, so SAS, they're going to back up a little bit here and they're going to recontest when they get a few more numbers left, because they only have supports at the moment. So Russian Raptors going to get a nice bit of free push here on the payload. Montana is going to come and contest it a bit on Zarya. Riptide coming in, gets free for the Russian Raptors. Will lose his life though to the Genji, as Shatter's committed by Kali, but it doesn't connect to anyone. And then he'll fall to the Fire Strike, because it looks like the Russian Raptors are going to get the second point quite comfortably as well. SES's plan at the start not really working out very well for them. They're now a bit staggered. They'll regroup before they push again now. They've regained another nano as well, the Russian Raptors. No switches from either team, which is very interesting. As soon as I say that, Kali makes a switch onto the Orisa from the Reinhardt. Bit more of an interesting switch for that, because the Diva Bomb can go over and wipe out everyone. Thankfully it's no one for the side of SES, but Kali ends up committing suicide. I think he got speed boosted potentially off. Tactical Visor from the high ground behind gets 2 picks, including the Symmetra that was mid-ult, but the Shadow will respond with the Coalescence. The Sound Bears has to be committed. This is a very brawl-ish fight here. You'd say SAS have the advantage due to the closer respawns, but Russian Raptors, they just have more numbers and more damage right now. The Bastion switch coming in now for the SAS just to stop his payload from being pushed, as the Moira's going to get trapped on point, will get killed by the Junkrat. He's also picked off the Lucio. Both supports are down. This Dragon Blade's got to be huge for SES. It is. It picks off both supports. But the Symmetra will take out the Zarya, but then we'll lose the life to the Bastion. It looks like maybe, I think they have settled now, SES. The Bastion switch coming in at the end, as Luca's going to get another kill on that Genji. I'm potentially going a little bit too deep there, right into the finger of a D.Va, and Reinhardt. I will lose his life and get punished for it. But he should respawn in time. The Bastion switch is obviously working now and gets to pick on the Ana, but they will lose his life to the charging Reinhardt. They can't res that. Junkrat Tire gets 2. There's a D.Va bomb somewhere as well, which is blocked by the shield. As Lucio has now switched to the Tracer from the Genji. Gets to pick it back onto the Baby D.Va. Still even in terms of who's up. The Symmetra turrets take up. The Grav is used from SAS. Only gets the Symmetra in it, and there's no follow-up to actually get any kills from it. In fact, they lose Kali on the Orisa instead. SAS still with an advantage here. They put the Symmetra barrier up, that's huge, to block out that Bastion damage. Just a Lucio left to contest the point. There's a Tracer trying to get behind, but Symmetra turrets are slowing it down a bit. They do get the pick on the Zarya, onto the Moira, and on to the Bastion, as well as the Lucio that was left contesting the point. They've used the Nano as well, the Russian Raptors. I don't think Sydney, Seattle have anyone else to recontest. The Bastion's got a tank form, but it's going to be too late to get to the point. Russian Raptors with a very solid attack there. 2 minutes 35 left. It's a decent time. So now we're going to be seeing SAS on the attack, hopefully to rival that time, if not better it. As potentially the Ryan Zarya is going to come out again with the Genji, the obvious also going around the Junkrat as well. The Junkrat is very effective for the Russian Raptors on their attack, as you saw with the 3-man set. It was getting no surprises that they're going to run the Junkrat again on defense by the look of it here for the Russian Raptors. Also running Ryan Zarya very powerful on King's Row on attack and defense. Still running the Ana, this time running Ana Zen, and still in the Symmetra as well. Very interesting sort of niche pick, but will probably be used a lot more, and the new Torbjorn will potentially be used for a bit more as well. As SCS will begin their attack on to King's Row. They're standing still once again. Russian Raptors taking the same approach. They're on the higher ground, the same as what SAS was. Be interested to see if SAS is going to go. Oh, the Sleep Dart lands on Happer, the deflect there from Genji, and manages to save herself. It's interesting here, SAS look like they're just going to go straight to the point rather than take the higher ground like the Russian Raptors did. They're going to force them to drop. They're going to pick on the Symmetra, but they will lose the Mercy. In fact, they will lose 3, so this will force a reset now for SAS. Unless they can get any late picks here, which can't be rezzed. They're going to pick on the Symmetra, but the Symmetra will be back before SAS can recontest. The Genji is still in here, as Matana gets a late pick onto the Junkrat there, who is pushed a little bit too far forward. That can't be raised. He did have Tayo as well, so temporarily it's a 6v5. So Russian Raptors, they're looking to try and get just a pick here to level it out. Doesn't look like they're about to get one. In fact, it looks like they might lose the Reinhardt here before the Junkrat even returns to the fight. They've evened it out there. Both teams trade Reinhardts but they lose their Mercy on the side of SAS, as well as the Junkrat, and that stops the fight. And I think Billy's potentially going to get a bit staggered here as well, also by the Zarya. As Russian Raptors, they'll hold solid. The Genji is still in the background, potentially going for a spawn camp on this Reinhardt. I don't think it would go very well for him. I think the Russian Raptors are aware that he is there. It looks like looks like the Reinhardt's chasing the Genji. I mean, that's a losing fight. So at the moment it's 5v5, and the Russian Raptors are out their main tank right now, and their Junkrat, because they're both contesting a Genji that's behind. Be interested to see if SCS could take advantage. Oh, they're grabbed in the room. There's two there's two Zen ults that are used. Tires on both sides. The ones from Russian Raptors connect, and the one for SAS doesn't. The Dragon Blade is going to have to be huge here for SAS to save it. Get tough too. Looks like they're going to res here as well. They're going to get a res on the Reinhardt, but will lose the Genji. Kali is going to try and level it out here by getting the pick on the Zarya. The Zarya is so weak there, but will survive. Billy is now back on the Vegeta. He's switched off the Zen to get onto the Brig. They've brought the Lucio in now instead of the Genji. They've nano boosted the Ryan Russian Raptors. They need to respond here. They are down in numbers. SAS obviously having spawn advantage is helping with that. Grav comes in, gets every single member of the team, bar the Symmetra in there, who actually gets to pick on the Zarya, who was on point. And I think SAS, it's a sample of just cleaning up right now. I don't know who's left, just a Lucio. And now the Zarya is also back now for the Russian Raptors. Potentially shouldn't have even bothered trying to recontest this, because it will get picked off eventually by the Junkrat. And it looks like SCS will finally begin their attack here on King's Row. Only 3 minutes 18 though, so they're going to have to push through the street raids very quickly. So in terms of switches, Mini Blaster switched on to the Lucio. Well, I can't even remember what he was playing before. I think he was playing the Zen before. Obviously Billy has switched to the Brigitte from the Lucio. Sorry, from the Zen. And if you look here for the SAS, they're going to have a lot of ults. They're going to have 4 ults at least, but they lose the Mercy to a Junkrat who is behind them. Lucio is recontested, you know, he's took out a Symmetra and he's took out the Junkrat that was tiring behind, who actually didn't get nothing with that tire. But they've lost their Mercy early here, so Russian Raptors, they might try and recontest. They lose the Lucio as well. So I don't think there's any healing really left for the Russian Raptors. Still 3 ults on the side of SCS to use, including their own Riptide and Rally to be popped. As soon as I say that Rally comes out, Shatter does come out, it's blocked. Only the Junkrat wheel left now, if necessary. SCS would want to save as many ults as possible here. But they actually all get off payload trying to chase the Symmetra and Zarya, so they've lost free push here. Very risky. In fact, they lose the Tracer as well, who was also trying to get to the point on the opposite side to the Symmetra turret. Be interested to see whether or not they actually res that or not. If they do, Montana gets slept. Thankfully, he's behind the thing, high payload, so he won't get hit. There's a nano boost coming out onto the Lucio. They've done the boostio for, I don't know why, maybe that was a misclick by the Russian Raptors, but it looks like they will stabilise potentially. The Junkrat gets 2 for SAS. As the Zarya is going to get trapped. They've used Valk in that. The Grav comes out. I think it was actually both Gravs that was actually used. No, sorry, the Grav comes out for Russian Raptors. Montana is only at 70 for, well, 80 actually for his Grav. As the Junkrat is just bouncing around here, the Zarya gets booped up to the high ground. Probably going to have to drop to recontest and commit their life there. As SES will take the second point. 2 more picks coming in late there for the Junkrat. But they already have less time than the Russian Raptors now. So Russian Raptors have done a good job of just staggering the time and making it go slower. So they will have an advantage in terms of their next attack phase on King's Row. That is if SCS make it all the way through anyway. The Symmetra wall is going to come up here on the side of Russian Raptors. It's going to block out a bunch of damage, but she still will lose her life to the Junkrat. Riptide coming in. The Grav's actually committed as well as the barrier is committed. Taya doesn't get nothing on the side of SCS. Tracer was the only one to fall from the Taya from the Russian Raptors, who just gets rezzed. As one Junkrat's going to take out the other Junkrat. So SCS, they're now down a member, but they're still going to re-push here. They'll try and push this as far as possible as the Zarya gets charged. as the barrier also, sorry, the shatter also comes out as well as the nano Digimon switching onto the May here from the Symmetra, as the Brig's going to be brought out for Mini Blaster, switching from the Lucio there. As Russian Raptors, they're all stabilised. They've made a few switches now. SAS, they're not making any switches here. They're going to have 3 ults going into this fight, when Russian Raptors have nothing to actually counter what with. They're not close to anything right now. So SES, they have the advantage here as long as they group up in numbers. The Maywall blocks the Fire Strike there as the Fire Strike misses on return from Russian Raptors. Both teams waiting for a kick. The Shatter doesn't connect. Looks like it maybe should have. Their Pulse Bomb doesn't also connect. The Reinhardt will fall on the side of Russian Raptors though, as will the Zarya. So the Tank Lion is now gone for the side of Russian Raptors. Diggy has used the May Ice Block and they will use advantage of that. Drops the ult but gets stunned out of it, so it doesn't actually drop. It looks like maybe SCS will get this. The Tyre potentially trying to be used gets stunned out of using his ultimate. The Reinhardt and the Zarya will return, as well as the Anna in the background. Looks like Russian Raptors, they're going to try and contest this for as long as possible. They're going to pick on the Junkrat, but they'll lose 2. Diggy's now obviously back on the May, staggering a little bit, using the wall, using the Ice Block just to delay it a bit more. Pulse Bomb comes out and misses. Russian Raptors are probably going to try to contest this up until overtime if they can. They pick off the Reinhardt as the Zarya also gets trapped. Rally is popped from the side of Russian Raptors here. They could still hold this. SCS's numbers are dwindling. They only have 3. The Reds on the Reinhardt coming in to make it 3. The Mercy will fall 3 left on point against the entire Russian Raptors team. I don't know if SCS can even recontest. The Nano Boost is committed to the Junkrat. There's only the Tracer left to walk around the point. I don't know how long the Tracer could contest for, and I think that is map to the Russian Raptors. As Mini will get the play of the game for the Russian Raptors. Play of the game, picking off 3 people there with that Riptire. As we are now going to move into potentially the last game. It's still possible to draw the last map, I believe. The last map is Watch Point Gibraltar, which is still possible to draw. But Watch Point Gibraltar is going to be our last sort of a tiebreaker here. Whoever wins this wins the whole series. If it is a draw, we will then play Volskaya as our tiebreaker map. As we arrive at Watch Point Gibraltar ahead of the third and potentially final map. .15 seconds left for the teams to assemble their heroes.